Hello everybody, hope you're doing very well and welcome to this evening's live stream that I've decided to do for you all, discussing the Bakkt news, which has obviously come out today. Obviously we've all known about it for a long time, let's be honest. It kind of really should be priced in, but nevertheless it's caused a little bit of a move today, about an 8% rise since the low of the day to now, about an 8% rise, and that is obviously since as soon as the news article came out, we saw the rise in the price, and yeah, that's that. Bakkt has been cleared to launch their futures exchange, which is supposedly going to allow more institutional investors to obviously come in and buy Bitcoin. And it's all physically backed, okay? Whereas a lot of, exchanges or futures markets, where you won't actually be buying the actual, currency, let's say. Whereas in this case, it's actually physically backed. So, anyone buying through Bakkt, they will actually be buying and holding Bitcoin, not just like an ETF, So, yeah, that's pretty exciting, pretty good news. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be discussing today. Why this is, going over that in terms of price and, what's there to look at on this price chart. Have targets changed essentially now? Is this going to cause a massive pump in the price, or are we still going to head down? So that's kind of what I'll be looking at over the next, 15 minutes, half an hour or so. I'm not sure how long this is going to last exactly. But yeah, hope that you thoroughly enjoy this. We got about 83 people. We had 3 instant dislikes. As soon as it was announced, before this even began, we had the dislikers coming in. As normal, nothing to worry about there. I'm used to it now. Yeah, cool. Hello, everybody. I've got my other monitor up, so I'll be watching the comments and saying hi to everybody as we go along. I've got it on this second screen now. So yeah, hello. Oh, hi, John. Hope you're very well. Short from where? Well, we'll find out. Yeah, settled in Bitcoin. So yeah, that's good in my opinion. Like, it is good that it is settled in Bitcoin. It can only be positive that is a thing, in my opinion. Cool. So firstly, I'd just like to show you this really perfect parallel channel that we have going on. I mean, this is pretty perfect. As you can see, we have the low of the parallel, which has been resistance, and then flipped obviously to support, support, support. Really, really nicely defined low of the channel, and then really nicely defined the high of the channel. Okay, well, we've obviously had the wicks of resistance onto the 6.5. As you can all remember, this was rejected by the golden pocket perfectly from high to low overall. And then since there, we've obviously seen wicks of rejection and another wick of rejection here. So we have our perfectly defined midpoint as well, which you can just see on the midpoint as being resistance, support, support, resistance. This is in my opinion, a perfect parallel channel. And if you wanted to range trade, you could potentially try and trade this still as a range, or if you just didn't want to enter this whole range and try and trade a range, then you could obviously just wait for a breakdown, okay, or wait for it to break up before you enter your next trade. Not range trading like this is for everybody. So yeah, those are like 3 scenarios off the bat that you could be looking for if you want to trade this as a range. Okay, let me just double check that my sound settings are okay on this. Yeah, they should be all right. So I'm not sure why it's. Let me just see. Was that 100? There we go. That should hopefully be better now. I've put that up to 100%. I hope that the microphone has gone a bit louder. Yeah, so yeah, that's the range, and let me know if that hasn't helped, but that should have helped. Sorry, I forgot. I always forget to put it up to 100%. But yeah, obviously, like, things that I've been looking at over the last few days, obviously on the 4-hour, we had that really, really extreme RSI level. As you'll know from yesterday's video, that was the lowest RSI we had seen since November 2018. Okay, so November 2018 was the last time we had such extreme low RSI levels. So one had to imagine there was going to be a bounce, not just head straight down. And obviously I was imagining yesterday that was our nice relief rally. Okay, but it does seem as if it's going to turn into some form of ABC. Okay, so obviously A, B, C. Okay, we obviously retraced down. Did the Bakkt news help today? I would say yes, obviously, because as soon as it was announced, we saw that rise in price. Okay, so arguably, I guess it's not really arguably, it kind of affected the price, because as soon as it was released, that article, the price rose straight away. So we could argue that this is from people buying that news. Okay. All I would say is news-based pumps generally phase out quite quickly, especially when they're expected. Everybody knew Bakkt was coming, okay? Everybody knew Bakkt was coming. It's no surprise to us. It's just a little bit of a surprise, I guess, that it was announced today. That will be, I think, sometime in September. So it's actually going to be released September the 23rd. So that's when you can expect to trade on this brokerage, okay? So 23rd of September. So yeah, I guess that was the bit of news. Not everybody knew that date, but we did know it was coming, and I do believe that it should have been priced in. Okay, so that with that in mind, you could very much see a short-lived pump. Okay, only just to head back down because really it's nothing groundbreaking. We all knew it was coming. It shouldn't really affect the price too much, apart from that sudden burst as it comes out. I'm not expecting too much. Okay. So really, option number one, okay, I'll go through the three options so you can have like just a unbiased view. And then you can decide for yourself how you'd like to take this. But option number one is just that we are range bound and we will head up to the top of the range. Okay, I think personally, this isn't it's not my favorite scenario. Let's just put it like that. This isn't my favorite scenario, this range, that we will head back up to the top of the range because of the dramatic sell-off that we had, because we have just put in lower high, lower high, lower high. Obviously, one could argue that this is a higher low, higher low. Okay, so we're obviously then coming to form an apex. Obviously this isn't picture perfect, but come to form some sort of apex before a break is a possibility. As I posted out earlier, this was quite funny. So I posted this out about 6 hours ago. Price was at 9.8 and now we're at 10.5. But yeah, obviously I posted out this scenario where, mentioning that this was a possibility. Obviously we're on 100 exponential moving average on the daily, okay, which is finding support, hidden bullish divergences, negative funding rate, fear in the market, horizontal support. Could this end in a triangle to flip us up towards 17k region? Obviously, looking at this as a way forward. That is a scenario that you can't just ignore. You can't just ignore it and say it has to be bearish. But yeah, I enjoyed reading through some of the comments and activity in there. People's opinions. But yeah, that was obviously one scenario that I had in mind, that obviously a descending triangle typically breaks downwards, but if we're looking for continuation, then we could expect it to break to the upsides. So that's one scenario to look for this to break up. My preferred scenario, I'm not going to go over the whole, well, I might as well just really quickly draw out the labels here. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 4, up for the fifth, and obviously that is our running flat of the ABC, okay, and now after that, finished, okay, so potential fifth wave finishing there. Obviously I have this labeled ABC, okay, ABC, coming down for an A, a B, and a C for a Y wave, okay. Still my preferred count, and nowhere near is this invalidated. Okay, I would trade it to invalidation, but yeah, I stopped trading today on the Bakkt news just because I can't be bothered to trade with that hovering over it. But obviously, if we're looking at this, then that would obviously be labeled just ABC, ABC. So ABC, then ABC and the X, and now another ABC. Okay, which I'd be looking to play out something along these lines: A, B, and down for the C. Okay, so this where we could get our relief in the B if we're looking at this in some sort of 5 waves down. I was looking at this, okay, and potentially labeling it 1, 2, then the 1, 2, 3, 4 in the third, 4, 5, okay, so we might not potentially have ended the A, but I guess overall it's not going to affect it overly much if we're looking down for lower targets of that Y. That's obviously a bearish view. You do have your CME futures gap obviously sat at 8985 to 8515. So this is the gap that everybody's looking at. Everybody and their mother, I think, will be wanting to buy the CME futures gap, which is why, in my opinion, when everybody's looking to buy a level, you can end up just going straight through it, and that's why we would obviously be then looking towards that Y wave a little bit lower, okay, Y wave a little bit lower, just because everybody wants to buy the futures gap, and I think it's a good time to wreck some people. So yeah, that's my opinion on the futures gap. You might see it hold temporarily and then do something like this, okay, or maybe not possibly with that down that far, something like this, coming down to that 618, which is kind of the region I'm eyeing, also because of the 618, and also you have that, if you're looking for a 1-to-1 of the A, then you could be looking for that 1-to-1 depending on how high up we come on a B wave here. If this is either the fourth, okay, or the B, okay, that's kind of, we can't say right now whether this is the fourth of the A or the B, but nevertheless, if you're looking for a 1-to-1 extension around this sort of region, would make sense depending on how high this B comes up to. Obviously, if we end with some sort of flat, then yeah, this is moving on to a whole new scenario, and my invalidation is before that, comes into fruition, I guess. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at on the short, well, on the medium term. So that's medium term. Oh wow, look at all these comments. Wow, thank you everybody. Let me just read through some of these comments. It's nice to do a live stream. Like, I haven't done a live stream, obviously a public one, for so long. So it's really nice to just say hello and connect with everybody, because it has been a while. Obviously, I've been just so intense recently, but yeah, hello everybody. Volume is fine. Yeah, well, I just increased the volume, so that should, yeah, have made it better. Yeah, sounds good. Oh, that's brilliant. Thanks. Um, what altcoins are you trading? Well, I'll go through. So I'll list the altcoins. Basically, it's just been like the hype coins, like Dusk. What is it called? COS. Matic has obviously been held down recently. What is it? Ren. So mainly just those hype coins. Oh, Christopher, legend. Yeah, nice to see you too, mate. And obviously we'll be chatting soon as well. Sammy, 10.5 seems to be short-term resistance. Does that make sense to trade that wall for a breakout or downtrend support, which is not actually in my mind? Well, 10.5 is a little. I'll go through 10.5 in a second, but yeah, I'll go through 10.5 in a second. I'll cover why it's not the best place. Yeah, no worries, Supernova, and appreciate all your support. Hi, Ronnie, legends. How was Switzerland? Yeah, Switzerland was absolutely amazing. Absolutely, yeah, really, really, really beautiful, really nice. Is this live stream going to be available to watch later? Absolutely, yes, you'll be able to watch this back later. But yeah, now I'll go over why 10.5, in my opinion, is not the best place to be shorting in this region. Why? Well, if we take a fib, just a simple fib, we're above the 0.5 fib now. Okay, well, running into it. Okay, literally running it. You literally ran into it if you take it from here. Okay, so that's 540, literally running into it. But what I'm looking at here, okay, but more likely, well, let me just show you what I'm looking at here. So literally, if you look at this, then we are still above that support. So that would mean old resistance, support, resistance. Now it is actually broken to the upside. So it doesn't really make sense to open a short here, which is now a possible SR flip. You'd be better off looking like this before entering a short, maybe down to this low. Okay, because yeah, this is now a possible SR flip of that level, which could, okay, if it holds, send you back up to the 618 potentially, and then you'll be looking at this level, and then it is, do you get rejected at that level, or do you go on up through that level? So it's always like, I always try and trade reactively rather than like predictions, like rather than just predicting, predicting what's going to happen next, like react and actually trade to what the chart's giving you rather than trying to. Obviously, yeah, that element of forecasting and predicting, yeah, absolutely, it helps. That's why I do Elliott waves. But, at the same time, obviously, I have an Elliott wave count, but I'm a reactive trader just because, I'd write off an Elliott wave count in a second. I am under no marriage to my Elliott wave counts or bias under my Elliott wave counts. I'd happily change if it's invalidated, okay? And in the same way, especially when I'm day trading, I'd happily trade even if I've got a lower Elliott wave count, I'll happily trade long and short when I'm day trading. You can make money up and down. So that's why I view it anyway. But yeah, while we're, until this level is possibly lost, then one would be having to look at this currently as support. There's a clear support line there, isn't there? And then obviously next target would be either looking at this low or just the high just above the 6.5 for a potential B wave. Okay, if price starts doing that, then you got the mid-range just above you as well, between the 7.6. Okay, obviously the mid-range here, what we were looking at is obviously from our low to high parallel mid-range resistance as well. If you start, this is, in my opinion, not as likely, but again, I'd trade if it happened. If you break through mid-range and backtest and hold and move up again, then yeah, I really think you'd be looking to take that high up to the middle up to the top of the channel. Okay, that in my opinion is not the most likely scenario right now. I am favoring downwards movement, but yeah, as I said, I cannot tell the future of whether this is 100% going to happen or not, can I? So yeah, that's the way I'm looking to trade that anyway. Really reactive. Okay, I will wait for the back news to cool down. This with news, generally you have a little spike. Okay, and that's why I wanted to take the evening off, and I'll see how it reacts, especially going into the weekly close tomorrow. Obviously, I'm a massive football fan. I'll just be watching Arsenal tomorrow, so that'll be pretty fun. So I'll take probably Saturday off and then come back to this on Sunday for the weekly close, to be honest, and I'll see how price has gone. Into that weekly close, are we challenging mid-range, or have we actually broken down from here and then yeah, I'd favour definitely heading down further. So yeah, I'd really wait for that weekly close now before I take another position. If you're interested in another position, then I would say look at this lower term time frame, that SR level there, down to 10.2. Obviously where the move started, 10,000. So really you're looking at mid-term 10,000 support, 11,000 resistance, like a big $1,000 range. And you're more or less in the middle of that now, aren't you? You are more or less in the middle of that now. yeah, so the alts obviously have got pretty destroyed on this move up for Bitcoin. As Bitcoin moved up, the alts, wow, the alts, they moved down pretty heavily, didn't they? Let's be honest. Litecoin, this is like such an interesting one for me. Litecoin literally on its last legs of support. That will be very interesting. If it loses that, then goodbye Litecoin. Yeah, that's on its last legs. So that's an interesting one for me, along with Ethereum, which has just been like totally awful under BTC pairs. So yeah, the alts are not doing well. Let's be honest. The alts are not really doing well. Across the board. Matic. Obviously, I've been asked a lot about Matic, but Matic has just been held by this downward sloping trend line. Just look at that downward sloping trend line resistance, literally holding it down very well. Very, very well holding that price down. Okay, even lost that. We had that little bounce and then it lost it. So yeah, like a lot of the alts just falling down really as Bitcoin shows some signs of strength. And then it's kind of like a reverse scenario. If Bitcoin moves down, they show a little bit of strength, but when Bitcoin moves up like it has here, more or less red across the board. Obviously ENG green here, but that's because it had a pump earlier in the day and you see it's just moved down. So overall, oh, look at that. By the way, I had not even adjusted this. That is off my monthly to the exact tick. Okay, that is absolutely perfect. I've had this level for a very long time. That is monthly to the tick right there on ENG. I didn't even realize this, hadn't been trading it, but that is what you call a professional level. Look at that, from weekly to monthly. Yeah, rejected to the tick there on a monthly level. So yeah, that's what I like to see. And obviously Bitcoin above hit this monthly level as well. So yeah, that's going pretty well. Let me see what's going on here. So can you speak a little bit louder? I cannot unfortunately speak any louder anymore. Come on, Arsenal. Yes, come on, you gunners. Perfect, understandable, followable answer. So I'll wait a little bit and learn. Yes, absolutely. That's what I mean. That's what you got to do. Learn this. It's not overly hard to learn it. It's not overly hard. You just need to put in the time and put in the effort, and you can learn it. I'll be happy to give you 3 instant likes, Dan. You are. Thank you so much. A football fan yet watching Arsenal doesn't compute. Vaya mierda, tío. No, I love Arsenal. I grew up with Arsenal. And I'll always support Arsenal. Come on, you gunners. I wonder if this is a preview for BTC halving next year, Litecoin performance. I mean, Litecoin overall did well. So you have to remember, running up to it, it done extremely well. Extremely well running up to it. Okay, obviously from the lows up to the highs. What am I on the 1 hour chart here? Let's move out. Obviously, when it went from its low to its high, okay, it obviously ran up 150%. But obviously, Bitcoin is more than that. If we look at the LTC USD pair, that would make more sense here, and we can see in total the USD pair ran up 540%. So yeah, that is maybe a sign to come for the Bitcoin halving, but 540% is not a laughable percentage rise. I guess that's a pretty decent rise, 514%. So if Bitcoin can do the same, obviously from its low it's already up significant amount, 300%, but yeah, obviously the halving for Bitcoin is coming next year. But yeah, I can only imagine that will be positive as well. The run up for the Bitcoin halving, I can only imagine it's positive. Boss, do you back to primarily stacking dollars as opposed to sats? And what might change for you to start stacking sats once more? I'm still trying to stats. So I'm still trading Bitcoin pairs. So yeah, even if we got this correction down to 7.6, I still believe this is a bull market, okay? Because what am I viewing this as? I'm just viewing that as then an overall 1, an overall 2, and we move up for the 3, 4, 5, okay? So let's put this in a degree higher, because I am still viewing that very bullishly in the fact that this is all a second wave retracement. And then if we go obviously from the bottom of 1 to the top of 1 to the bottom of 2, our 1618 sits at 24,000. So, this is definitely I'm still stacking Bitcoin, basically. I'm still trading alts against Bitcoin. On Binance, this is. On Binance. I'm still trading alts against Bitcoin, stacking that Bitcoin, trying to get on a wave 2 retracement. Or possibly, I guess, we could, potentially have a wave 2 here. This is 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2 is obviously a really, really bullish count, but potential, but not as likely in my opinion. But yeah, still view this as a bull market, healthier retracement in a bull market. If we add in some EMAs here, we can obviously see the 200 daily there, 200 weekly. Let's just see BTC USD. Where is the 200 weekly sat at the moment? All the way down here at 4.9. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's quite a way off. Maybe we won't reach that 200 weekly or I wouldn't expect us to. That would be, if we reached that, then yeah, something has gone very wrong here. I wouldn't want to see us really lose the 618, if I'm honest. Wouldn't really want to see price go below that for wave 2, which is obviously sat at high 6,000s. Wouldn't really want to see us to lose that. That would contemplate me if this was more of a correction. You said 60% of Binance market is USA users. I guess they'll lose temp access to a lot of coins for a while unless CZ delivers goods in 2 months. Yes, absolutely. Binance is going away from the US customers, which is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. That's why I think alts are struggling a lot with volume. If you've noticed alts, if you trade alts, then you'll notice the volume on the alts has gone downhill heavily. So the alts, just volume in general on altcoins is not great at the moment. It has just fell off a cliff, more or less. So yeah, I think that is factored in because of US users leaving the exchange. If you're interested, I hear what's it called? Bittrex. I think that's what we were talking about earlier. I believe Bittrex. I don't know. We were chatting about it earlier. I can't remember now. But I think we were saying about Bittrex. I can't remember. It was Miles up in the chat over on TA, but I think we were saying like Bittrex is going to be good for the US customers. If you are from the US and you're interested in still trading altcoins, then apparently Bittrex is going to be the one. But yeah, they obviously have a good selection of alts. Not as great as Binance, but nevertheless still decent, as far as I was aware. I think it's about Elliott Wave's Fibonacci's volumes, price action. I just follow him and try to expect from this guy, and yeah. What you mean then? Run up after halving, then dump? Yeah, to be honest, I'd expect a run up going into the halving. Like, that's, history would say that we're likely to get a run up into the halving. So I am expecting a run up into the halving. But, like, I don't really trade for the run up into halvings. I just trade the chart technically. What's happening with halving, I really don't care, to be honest. Because if we're running up, I'd be able to tell that from the chart, not because halving's coming, For me, like, all of that sort of stuff is just a side effect, and really it's the chart. If the chart's looking nice, we're going to run up. If the chart's looking bearish, we're going to go down. So it's not like, oh, we're running up because of the halving. Obviously, it helps, but you know what I'm saying. I trade the charts, not news, per se, and that's why I took the break this evening, because there's a bit of news influence on the price at the moment, and I'm not interested in trading it while that's occurring, to be honest. I'll give that 24 hours or 12 hours to calm off. Why are you convinced wave 1 is finished? Couldn't this be a sub-wave of 4 of wave 1? So yeah, that is the possibility. So it obviously is possible that this was an extended third. Okay, so that's obviously one count that we got here. The other count, which I will label in a different color, is obviously that we've gone 1. That's undeniably wave 1. That's undeniably wave 2. But then obviously this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the third. Okay, and this is a wave 4 and this is a wave 5. So this, let me change the color, because this is an alternate count that you could possibly be looking at. And obviously that is what I tweeted about. So on my tweet, that would be looking at this triangle. That would be a wave 4 triangle. Okay, so obviously if you're looking at that as the count, this one here, that would be that you're only finished wave 3 here and you're putting in a wave 4, and obviously if that's the case, this could come lower potentially. But yeah, that's where I was obviously looking at the of the 3 of the A, 3 of the B, 3 of the C, 3 of the D, then 3 of the E to end with the wave 4 up for the wave 5. Before then, if that is the wave 5, say up to 17k region, then you obviously start taking your fibs from there and you look for a retracement. I'm not under that scenario. That's an alternate count that you can have, absolutely, and I would advise to have an alternate count like I have, but not my preferred, or not my primary count, let's just say that, until data comes and invalidates me. Oh, hi Todd, how's it going, mate? Basically you just look for the candle closes. And say on a monthly, take 2 candle closes and identify the monthly. I had so many comments asking if this was a an indicator. Like, no, it's not an indicator, it's all manual. Like, for instance, this is going to be your daily. Okay, so on the daily chart, we see our candle closes is a daily level. I'll do a video on it later. But yeah, that's kind of everything that I wanted to cover today in terms of Bitcoin. if you don't trade, well, I still have. So I'm still on Binance. This is in Binance anyway. Like I'm still just in Bitcoin at the moment, so I'm just in BTC. Yeah, I'm in Bitcoin, but then on Bitfinex and BitMEX, I regularly like take money out and put it into my bank, where I'm just going into USD. Well, obviously on BitMEX you're just stuck in a positions, but on Bitfinex itself you can obviously withdraw. But yeah, Binance I stay in BTC until I have a red flag and I want to get out of it. But I do pretty well, to be honest, of trading altcoins. Obviously today's like today is you're not going to have much joy trading altcoins, but generally I have a pretty good success with trading altcoins, so I can balance off any losses. So say I have a big stack of Bitcoin and Bitcoin dumps down 20%, I can generally at least negate losses in USD value by gaining in BTC value. I don't know, I'm pretty good at trading the alts recently, so yeah, obviously the last one that was really amazing was obviously that Ren call that I gave everyone, and that was right off the 618. That gave a 20% gain, and obviously when you look that Ren call 20%, okay, and then like you look at Bitcoin, well obviously it's 1% up today, but obviously a pretty substantial drop. But overall, if I try and trade alts and make up any make it like that, no. So I don't go into Tether, rarely go into Tether in a bull market. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know, that's all I wanted to cover in today's live stream, so not too long. Gave my opinions, gave my viewpoints, told you how I'm looking to trade this, or 3 scenarios if you don't want to trade the same as me. 3 scenarios that you can be looking at, obviously range bound, wait for the range to break, or the bullishly 1212 or the bearish WXY. So yeah, there's like 4 different scenarios of how you could potentially trade that, but depending on how you want to trade it, I'm not here to tell you what to do really. Obviously, I'm looking at this a little bit more bearishly with a WXY coming down to here, okay? Really, though, if you start closing above this mid-range, okay, you take out the highs here, well, that kind of invalidates it, because then you're not going down for a 1-2-1-2 anymore, are you? So, sorry, 1-2-1-2, 5 in the A. If you start retracing above here, it's kind of less likely. So, yeah. Short term anyway, I'd look at the mid-range resistance up to 11.6. Support has to be 10k. Obviously the start of this move up today, 10k down to the bottom of the range, which is obviously sat at the mid 9,000s. So mid 9,000s, 9,080 to be exact, 9,080. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I've been trading. What you gaming on, bro? This PC is like I don't know. I just bought like the best PC I could. It's GTX 280 Ti with a i9 processor, 2 4K monitors. I don't know, just the best I could get. And now they've released like a 280 Super. So now I'm going to have to buy this. I was like, yeah, literally it came out while I was on holiday, and I don't even use it. I like rarely game, but I just like to have the best component. I don't even know why. I just like to have the best component, so I'm probably going to buy the 280 Super just to have it. I don't know, I occasionally game, but like League of Legends, and you don't even need a graphics card for it. I don't know, it's a bit weird. And obviously it helps for streaming. Tell us about the Swiss exploits there. Oh, Switzerland was great. If you're interested, oh yeah, this was obviously. I'll show you all this really quickly because I had so many questions asking about it. So where's the post? This book. A lot of people ask me questions about the book. So there you go. That's what the book is called. The New Fibonacci Trader. Really, really good book. So I'll tell you a story about this book because I really, really recommend it. I had this book maybe, I'm pretty sure it's about 7 years ago. So I've literally had this book 7 years. As you can probably tell, well, you can't really tell, but the pages are like yellow. Like it's just I don't know, it's weird. It smells, it's like a really old book. And yeah, I had this about 7 years ago, and I remember reading it for the first time. And like the concepts are pretty advanced. And yeah, when I first read this, I was like, just blew away by the book, and it really got me hooked on wanting to learn Fibonacci. So I'd been trading for about a year when I first got this book, okay, and it was my first Fib book, and yeah, it got me hooked. And then so reading this like 7 years later was just fascinating for me. Like now I obviously understand all the concepts. Just reading through it again brought back what it was like to be learning, and yeah, so I have like a good connection with this book. Like it got me into Fibs, and now Fibs have made me a hell of a lot of money, so I owe it to this. And yeah, the new Fibonacci Trader. Make sure you get the CD-ROM. Okay, so it includes a CD-ROM. You need that CD-ROM because it has the software on. So yeah, don't buy a random book, or if you like download it offline, you won't get that. So I would say, yeah, pick up a proper copy, and yeah, worth it. And obviously, yeah, that's me last week in the mountains. Oh, I laughed so much at one of the comments. Where is it? Where was that comment that made me laugh? Looking like a mix of James Bond and a bisexual magazine model, sir. That comment made me laugh. It's because of the turtleneck, isn't it? It's because of the turtleneck. It was cold. It was like 0 degrees up there. I needed a turtleneck. I'm sorry. But yeah, that made me laugh. Yeah, that did make me laugh. But yeah, Switzerland's amazing. Obviously, it's even for me, it was expensive. Like, I was spending like $1,000 a day. It is really expensive over there. Like, obviously, it's the most expensive. I think it's the second most expensive country in the world, period. But yeah, it's proper nice over there. Like, I wouldn't advise going there if you don't have money, because everything costs. But yeah, it's just like, absolutely amazing. Like the countryside, the people are really nice. The food is just, amazing. Obviously, you have to buy a Swiss watch. If you go there, you have to buy a Swiss watch. So yeah, bring 20 grand for that because you'll want to buy one. That's what we will go. I was there. We will have. It's kind of a joke. But the guy, we arrived. He said, yeah, if you're here for one day, I was obviously not there for one day, but apparently people go to Interlaken, they go for one day, they go there, they go to the mountain in the morning, then they go down, they buy their watch, and then they go. So that's like, and they had a cheese fondue. Climb the mountain, have a cheese fondue, buy a watch, see you later, Switzerland. Greetings from Switzerland. Yeah, I love your country. Really, really nice. This is Jungfrau. This is Jungfrau. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Which is the highest peak in Switzerland. So this was about 3,500 feet. 3,500 meters. Yeah, 3,500 meters, more or less. So yeah, that's the highest peak. I was not dressed for the weather. I had nothing underneath. I was absolutely freezing, but it was worth it. You're a good person, good technical analysis. Thank you so much. Do you ever use fib circles? There is a tuber called Ring of Capitulation. Yeah, I use them, but I favour looking at it via Elliott waves. Obviously, fib circles, fee circles, fee eclipse, they're useful. Absolutely, they're useful. But I don't know. I'm not looking at this as a corrective wave. So capitulation, no. I'm still looking at it as a healthy retracement in a bull market. Okay, possibly if we start losing 7,000, then my viewpoint might change. But at the moment, I don't even entertain the idea of this being a corrective sequence and we head down. I really would find it extremely unlikely if we head down from here. I think this is very impulsive and the start of a new cycle, rather than this being labelled some sort of X to come down. I do think that's very unlikely. The size of this move leads me to think it's a new cycle. And maybe if we start losing key supports, e.g. 7K, start losing 4K, then yeah, I would entertain this was the next wave. But at the moment, absolutely do not entertain the idea that this is corrective. And I'll be happily say I'm wrong if we come down that low, but as it stands right now, yeah, this is a healthy correction in a bull market. I don't want to spread some FUD. Jungfrau means Virgo. Jungfrau. Daniel J. Are you called Daniel J? That's me, Daniel J. Hello. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up now. I hope that you have all enjoyed the stream. Yeah, see you in the stream tomorrow. Yeah, I guess I'll I will mention this. Yeah, if people want to come and join our Discord community, which is obviously free, it's free to come over, then all you need to do is click on this bottom one. Okay, click on the bottom one and you can come over, and obviously you'd have to join as a spectator, but then you'll have access to the our trading community. You can come over and join that for free, hang out in the spectators if you'd like. So yeah, it's just that bottom link, or just come over to the website, join on the free account. You'll have your invite link and you can come over and say hello in the spectators chat. But yeah, I think that's it for me this evening. Hope that you've enjoyed the live stream, this quick update. How long have we been? 35 minutes. Yeah, that's enough. Really appreciate the motivation, mate. Keep the lives going. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Supernova. Supernova, shout out to Supernova, by the way. He's been here a long time, following all my videos from like from almost the very start. So he's been here probably since I had like maybe 100 subscribers. And I can honestly say that your technical analysis has improved. Like I read through the spectators chat, and I see your charts that you post, and yeah, I can tell that you've improved. So yeah, well done on that, and keep up the hard work. And I know you've been following me for a long time. So yeah, I recognise the name and etc. etc. So yeah, well done, man. Well done. And with that said, I hope everybody else is doing very well in their technical analysis journey. Obviously, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's not something you're going to conquer overnight. Obviously, with my guidance and mentorship, you should do it much faster than the average person. But nevertheless, it's a journey. It's a journey, and if you want to take it professionally and do it full time as a your job. Or job in quotation marks, because I view it as a hobby rather than a job. But yeah, obviously you just need to put in the time, put in the dedication, and yeah, you'll get there. So yeah, that's how I'm looking at Bitcoin. Finished for the night. One real quick look on a recap here. We'll go for a quick recap. EMA is looking decent. That level that I gave you at the start of the stream, absolutely still holding. So there are pretty much nothing's happened in the stream. We're literally holding that level still. So yeah, I wouldn't really look for a short until at least that level was lost. And then obviously for upper side, you're looking towards 10.8 or around that potential 618. But that's not a major resistance. It's just obviously the 618 200 EMA there. So that's currently sat about 10.7, but it's not a major resistance. Okay, major resistance starts at the 786. But you nevertheless could still see a retracement from there, so one would take profit. Thanks to you and the community. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's a good bunch. There is a really, 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 really good bunch. Oh, I will show you this chat. This where is it? This wasn't posted by me. This was posted by the mods. But yeah, it was like really nice. Basically, everybody's so loving, and just like really supportive of each other. So yeah, that was a really, really really nice message. Basically, everyone was helping each other out. Obviously, I was away, but yeah, keep making us proud. So yeah, it's really nice that, especially like the champions group, like everybody is just always speaking. It's active throughout the day. It's really active, and we've now got people like learning how I trade, and now I start to see they're posting like the way that I do technical analysis, and then you've got people firing questions and people able to answer questions. It's just great. It really is great. So yeah, I'm really happy with how things are going. And yeah, to see people learning, making money, absolutely, that's what we want. So yeah, thanks everybody. Glad you've enjoyed the stream tonight. I'll try and do some more of these. It's just obviously I've got the contenders streams and the champions live streams, which are every Wednesday and every Sunday. And then for like public live streams, I generally don't have time. So this is kind of a kind of a rarity, I guess, for me to do just a public live stream, how things have changed. But yeah, like I just have so little time. Like I used to have so much time, or more time than I have now. But obviously now running a company, things going on in life, obviously like, yeah, I've made it public, as you'll know, like family having cancer and things, like it just takes away so much of my time, like having to look after them, things like that. Just my time is so much limited, more limited than what it was, at the start of the year even. So yeah, it's kind of rare for me to have the time to do this. So I hope that you've appreciated it. John, yes, John's over there in the champions. highly recommended group. Thanks, John, for the review. Shout out, and yeah, I'll catch you all over on Twitter most likely. So yeah, check out for my next post over there, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously, this was a pretty funny one. So this was obviously talking about the stock market, by the way, is up. The stock market's up today. So if we look at the stocks, I'll do this for 1 minute. Obviously, the stock it's hedging its way up today, but we're only up 1%. Obviously, gap open. So yeah, gapped up, and then yeah, we're just looking at the stocks real quick. Obviously, gold today is pretty sideways. Oil is slightly down. Okay, no, since I have made this, it's gone up. Okay, so more or less sideways anyway, 0.4%. Nothing to shout about. Gold slightly down. Platinum, oh yeah, platinum pump today. You see this? Platinum pump. But yeah, gold, silver, copper down. Natural gas bouncing off a monthly. That's like a 9% bounce on natural gas. Obviously on the Forex market, Great British Pound, what's been going on there? Absolutely awful. If you look at the Great British Pound, look at this, Great British Pound just getting absolutely battered. What made me happy was I bought the Swiss francs, bought a load of Swiss francs. So I was pretty happy when here we go. I was pretty happy when the pound dropped against Swiss franc, because obviously I was sat in francs, so that made me happy. But we're seeing a bit of a recovery here. But you just look at that sell-off. This is an insane sell-off against the Swiss franc, like really, really insane. Yeah, that's one bad chart right there. Really, really, really bad chart. Remember trading this when it was up here and it's just fell off a cliff. But yeah, action in all markets. That's what I like. Action in all markets. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. Hope that you have all enjoyed, and yeah, thanks everybody. I'll catch you over on Twitter or in the Discord. Cheers everybody. Thanks. Good night. Bye. Thank you. Yeah. Where are my manners? Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye.